Hey, now it's Anthony with A&A bringing you another cop story. Uh, this is 2007, and I'm working a 2 to 10 shift, and I'm just patrolling my beat. Uh, I want to say it was like maybe late evening, maybe 7 or 8, and I get a call, an accident on my beat. Gave out a description of the vehicle. I think it was like a small pickup truck. So I get to the location. I see the truck, but I don't see any other vehicle. And now the vehicle looked like it had been wrecked, but it didn't look like your normal wreck. So I'm kind of confused. So I called the dispatcher and I asked her to give me the call again, and to repeat the call again as she heard it. She gave me the call again. I went to nearby houses to ask questions. They told me that it looked like that it was two cars racing, and the car crashed, and then they got out and ran. So I'm like, okay. So I waited for a little while, so I said, you know what, I'm just gonna tow the vehicle and write it up as abandoned, because it did appear that the vehicle had some damage to it, but it didn't hit any public property. It didn't hit any houses. It didn't hit anything. So I didn't, to save myself some paperwork, I didn't write it up as an accident. I just wrote it up as an abandoned vehicle and called for a tow truck to come and, tow the vehicle. So, like, I want to say maybe 5 minutes after I called the tow truck, I'm sitting in my patrol car writing the paperwork up, and all of a sudden, a car pulls up, 2 males get out, and a female. And they walk over to the car, and I'm like, hey, is that your car? Yeah, this is my car. I'm like, okay. I said, well, come on, tell me what happened. Like, why are you here? Well, somebody stole my car, and I reported it stolen, and I said, so your car was stolen at 12? 12 afternoon? Yeah. Did you get an accident report? Did you call the police? No. I'm like, sir, it's about 9 o'clock. I mean, your car gets stolen at 12 p.m. I mean, the day is almost gone and you hadn't called the police? And how did you know the car was here? Who told you that the car was here? So he's lying and lying and lying. I'm like, okay. I said, listen, I may look like a rookie, but at the time I had about, 5 years on. So I said, you might want to play that trick on something else, somebody else. You're not telling me something. But see, what goes on in Jackson is that you got these drug addicts, crackheads is what we call them. What they do is they will loan their car for a few hours for the drugs. And what always end up happening is the drug dealer wouldn't give them their car back. They'll just keep their car forever and they'll just have to get it back the best way they can. So what happened was, I later found out that they call it a crack pawn. They crack pawned the vehicle for some crack rocks. And the guy just didn't want to give the vehicle back. So he spotted the guy in his vehicle and chased him. And the guy wrecked the drug dealer wrecked the vehicle, got out and ran. Okay, so that was that. So I said, well, I already called a tow truck and I can't cancel it. I have to have a supervisor to cancel the record. He's not going to cancel it under these circumstances, so you're just going to have to get your car from the tow yard. What? You ain't towing my car? I like, oh, you need to calm down with all that aggression. You know what I'm saying? See, by this time, I wasn't taking mess off nobody. You know, I was always on guard. If I saw somebody getting, you know, aggressive, I became aggressive. So I wasn't going to play those games. And I'm outnumbered anyway, so I gotta show that I'm strong. I can't show that I'm scared at all because, you know, I'm out there by myself. It's 3 of them, you know, a female, 2 guys. So I don't want them to feel like I'm scared and give them the more courage to try to do something. So the biggest one, he runs up on me all aggressive. I said, listen, you need to back up. You run up on me again, I'm gonna handle you. I'm telling you, back up. You know what? Matter of fact, just leave, because you know you don't even need to be here anyway. And so he runs up in my face again, and he said, "You make me leave." So I reached to grab him to put handcuffs on him. He swung. I ducked. Bow. I catch him with a right. Boom. I went for his chin, but my aim was just a little off, and I hit him in the neck. And when I punched him in the neck, he just started gasping for air. So he's went down gasping for air. The other guy that was with him, he was an older guy. He tried to, jump on me. And, boom, I catch him with a 1-2. Boom, he goes down. The female, she don't want no parts when she see what I've done to them. And so, I boxed, off and on pretty much my whole life. So, I can throw a punch. I know how to defend myself. So, so after I got this guy down, I go for him and I go put handcuffs on him. And while I'm putting handcuffs on him, that's when backup arrived. And it was my supervisors. Now, this is crazy. My supervisors beat the other officers there, both of them. And I was so proud of them when they did that. They came in. One of the supervisors, he came. He ran. He tackled one of the guys. And, wrestled one of the guys. And I put, we all got him in handcuffs. And so one of the supervisors asked me, hey, what happened? And I'm so pumped up. I'm yelling and screaming and cussing. He was like, you know what? You calm down. Just calm down, and we'll get the details later. Because I try to lay back. I try to stay chill. I don't like drama. I don't like to fight. But once you take me there, it's hard for me to stop. And so he goes and he asks the neighbors what happened. And he made a comment to one of the neighbors. He was like, look, y'all weren't going to let those guys beat this officer up because, he's kind of small. Now, look, I'm only 5'11". I'm probably 5'10 3/4", but I just rounded off. I'm 5'11". And I'm about 165 pounds, if that. And I was smaller back then. So I was probably 10 pounds smaller. So, he was like, y'all weren't going to let this guy jump on my officer because, he's kind of small. And so they was like, well, no, your officer was okay. I don't think he need much help because he took both of them guys out. He was like Superman. And so after that, everybody started calling me Superman. And man, that was a good day for me. It could have ended up bad, but I was able to defend myself. It took 2 guys to jail for assaulting a police officer and some other charges I put on them. I can't remember. But that's my story, guys. And there will be more to come. And I'll see you in the future.